These 4 crashes still rank among the most horrific and tragic in NASCAR history. While 2 drivers survived, the others lost their lives, each accident becoming a painful catalyst for major safety reforms that have made stock car racing in America far safer. Ricky Knotts was one of short-track racers in the American Speed Association, or ASA, during the late 1970s. Born in Michigan in 1951, Knotts built a reputation as an aggressive competitor on Midwestern short tracks, winning major late-model races at Anderson Speedway, Toledo Speedway, and Winchester Speedway. In 1979, he captured the prestigious Redbud 300, one of the biggest events in short-track racing. Encouraged by those successes, Knotts and his family team purchased an Oldsmobile 442 and began pursuing opportunities in NASCAR's top division. Although he failed to qualify for several Winston Cup races during 1979, this ambitious 28-year-old arrived at Daytona International Speedway in February 1980, determined to earn a spot in the Daytona 500. On February 14, 1980, Knotts entered the second Daytona Twin 125 qualifying race, the event used to set the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. Racing against stars such as Donnie Allison and Richard Petty, Knotts was running deep in the field when disaster struck on lap 14 or 15. Traveling at more than 100 miles per hour exiting turn 1, Knotts's car hood suddenly flew off and blocked his view. He then collided with the outside wall, rebounding into the middle of the track, where Blackie Wangeren's car T-boned his number 31 Oldsmobile. The force of the T-bone crash sent both cars to slide across the infield. Knotts's car continued and struck the inside concrete wall, nearly passenger side first. The force of the impact was so strong that it broke the driver's seat mounting system, causing devastating head injuries as he flew towards the passenger side and struck the wall directly.
John Anderson, of course, Richard Petty, who's not unknown at all. There's Benny Parsons lane, third spot. Tragedy coming in the 15th lap. The car of Benny Ricky Knotts crashing into the inside retaining wall. He sustained massive injuries and died in that crash. Car number 31 breaking loose and sliding across the track. He was terribly unfortunate.
Medical crews evacuate Knotts from the wreckage, but track doctors confirmed he had passed away before reaching the infield hospital. In later years, NASCAR introduced stricter licensing requirements for rookie drivers at Daytona and Talladega, ensuring that competitors first gained experience on intermediate tracks and in lower divisions before entering high-speed events. Knotts' death also reinforced the importance of stronger seat mounting systems, improved head restraints, and enhanced driver protection, developments that would gradually become standard in NASCAR over the following decades. Philip Ross was an underrated short-track racer from South Carolina. Before reaching NASCAR competition, Ross spent years racing at local dirt tracks such as Riverside Speedway and I-85 Speedway while working for a transportation company in Greenville. In 1991, he purchased a Chevrolet Monte Carlo and entered NASCAR's Sportsman Division, a developmental series created by Humpy Wheeler to give grassroots drivers experience on superspeedways. Ross was not a nationally recognized driver, but earning a place at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Sportsman 100 support race during Coca-Cola 600 weekend represented the biggest opportunity of his racing career. On May 18, 1991, Ross was competing in one of the qualifying heat races that determined the starting lineup for the Sportsman 100. While running in the middle of the pack, he was caught in the aftermath of an earlier incident when debris on the racing surface punctured his right front tire. As Ross approached turn 4 near the pit entrance, the tire deflated and his car spun backward at high speed. The Monte Carlo first slammed into the inside pit wall, then rebounded and struck the opening in the pit road barrier with its left rear corner. The second impact knocked loose the fuel valve, causing gasoline to pour onto the hot engine and ignite instantly. Ross was trapped in the cockpit for roughly 25 seconds as flames engulfed the car. He eventually climbed out through the passenger side and staggered away with his racing suit still burning. Ross suffered second-degree burns over approximately 30% of his body and was airlifted to a local hospital. Ross later announced his retirement from racing, explaining that what had begun as a hobby was no longer worth the risk. Although no single rule change followed immediately, the accident intensified concerns about inexperienced drivers racing on high-speed ovals and about emergency response readiness at Charlotte. Ross survived, but his crash became one of the most haunting images in the brief history of NASCAR's sportsman division. Michael Waltrip was an underdog Kentuckian racer making his mark in stock cars by 1990. He had won multiple short track and dash series events in the 1980s and captured his first NASCAR Busch Series victory at Dover in 1988, though major victories in NASCAR's top series still eluded him at the time. Driving the number 30 Kool-Aid-sponsored Pontiac for Bahari Racing, he competed regularly in both the Busch Series and the Winston Cup, steadily gaining experience on short tracks and superspeedways alike. Unlike some drivers of his era, Waltrip had largely avoided serious injuries in NASCAR competition, allowing him to maintain a consistent presence on the circuit. On April 7, 1990, the Budweiser 250 at Bristol Motor Speedway reached a critical moment late in the race during a restart on lap 170. Waltrip was attempting to regain lost ground when his car made slight contact with Robert Presley while exiting Turn 2. That touch sent Waltrip sliding toward the outer wall at around 120 miles per hour, directly toward a vulnerable section of track infrastructure known as a crossover gate, which was designed to allow vehicles to enter and exit the infield. The gate was badly designed safety-wise, leaving it open for tragedy. Waltrip's car struck the exposed edge of the concrete structure behind the gate with extreme force, causing the front of the vehicle to disintegrate and scattering debris across the track.
Getting chased by a bad crash over in turn 2. Michael Waltrip has hit the wall hard. The car is upside down, and you can see the car is really torn up. There's a record crowd of 35,000 for what they were about to see. On lap 171, Michael Waltrip was battling Robert Presley. The two touched coming off turn 2, shooting Waltrip's car into the corner of the exit wall. The car disintegrated on impact.
Miraculously, Waltrip survived and was extracted conscious from the mangled remains of his car, suffering only bruises and minor concussion symptoms. He was taken to the Infield Care Center for evaluation and was later cleared to compete again, an outcome that stunned fellow drivers and officials who had expected far worse. The incident exposed a serious safety flaw in the track design, prompting calls for structural changes to eliminate such hazards in the future. Over time, Bristol Motor Speedway replaced the dangerous gate area with safer alternatives, including a tunnel system that removed the need for a movable wall section altogether. Waltrip's career continued largely unaffected, and he would later achieve major success, including victories in the Daytona 500. Buren Skeen was another little-known independent racer from Denton, North Carolina, who competed part-time in NASCAR's Grand National Series during the mid-1960s. Born in 1936, Skeen primarily raced short tracks and local events, earning respectable finishes despite operating with limited funding and modest equipment. During the 1965 season, he managed several solid results, including a 5th-place finish at Bowman Gray Stadium and a 9th-place finish at Martinsville Speedway. Those performances helped the 28-year-old gain entry into the prestigious Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway on Labor Day weekend. At the time, the Southern 500 was considered one of NASCAR's toughest and most respected races, attracting the biggest names in stock car racing. The race began on September 6, 1965 under hot South Carolina conditions. Very early in the event, on only the second lap, Skeen lost control of his number 23 1964 Ford, entering Turn 3 and spun sideways on the track. Before he could recover, veteran driver Reb Wickersham approached at around 120 miles per hour with little time to react. Wickersham's car T-boned the driver's side of Skeen's Ford.
Station of back to sheriff. There's a spin. It's Bjorn Skeen, a rookie. Red Bricker should catch some broadside. Bird pocket slides and nudges Skeen's red car.
The impact crushed the side of the car and exposed the weaknesses of NASCAR safety technology during the 1960s. Reports later stated that the driver's door was virtually destroyed, the steering column was bent outward, and the flimsy roll cage offered almost no protection against the side impact. Rescue crews spent more than 20 minutes evacuating the unconscious Skeen from the wrecked car. Skeen suffered catastrophic injuries, including a basal skull fracture and severe chest and abdominal trauma. He was transported to McLeod Infirmary in Florence, South Carolina, but never regained consciousness and passed away 9 days later on September 13, 1965. His death highlighted the primitive state of NASCAR safety during the era, when drivers still raced with basic lap belts, open-face helmets, and weak roll cage designs. Although no immediate rule changes followed specifically because of Skeen's crash, the accident became part of the growing pressure for stronger side impact protection and window nets. By the early 1970s, NASCAR had introduced reinforced roll cages and required window nets across the Grand National Series.